an illegal immigrant who carried out one of Britain's biggest ever property swindles and spent the proceeds on a house and a raft of sports cars, has been jailed for only 10 years. Anopkumar Maudhoo, who's 46, made at least £8.5 million from 45 victims by selling them homes he didn't even own across London and the southeast. Maudhoo, as I said, he was an illegal immigrant from Mauritius who should have been deported back in 2010. Ran a large-scale conveyancing scam, offering investment opportunities in the purchase of repossessed properties or the redevelopment of plots of land. But in reality, the houses were not subject to repossession proceedings and the genuine owners were unaware of the fraudulent sales. 2 buyers purchased the same house in Belgravia, where homes can fetch well over £10 million, and 3 victims lost £600,000 each. Maudhoo used fake documents and solicitors' stamps in the fraud and went by a number of aliases, all of which allowed him to live a life of fabulous luxury. He bought a £100,000 speedboat and 19 luxury cars, including Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Aston Martins, and a GT3 RS as well. He was arrested last year and, after pleading guilty to 31 offences, was jailed for 10 years. Some of the assets, including a purple Aston Martin DB12 with a personalised number plate PA12CAL reflecting one of his false aliases, have been seized. Interpol had issued a silver notice, a new form of colour-coded notice it launched this year in a bid to find what remains of his assets around the globe, and one elderly victim even claimed the stress and anxiety contributed to his stroke. He said the scam did not just rob me of my life savings, it stole my sense of stability and future for my family. Another man, Zain, who lost £230,000, said in a statement that the scam had a profound and devastating impact, leading to sleepless nights and deep emotional stress. Zain stated, "I placed my trust in him, believing him to be a genuine individual, but was left emotionally and financially shattered. I felt humiliated by being taken in by someone I believe to be honest. It has also deeply affected my family, and the stress and emotional strain have taken toll on our relationships. The financial blow has been devastating, and I fear I will never recover from it. This bastard is still owing me money." Investigators found he sold 75 properties or development plots since 2021, with victims located across North London, Hertfordshire and Essex. Alongside cars, he bought a £3 million property in Hertfordshire and rented a flat in East London for £6,000 a month, where police found cash, luxury goods and items linked to fraud. There are also more than 20 personalised number plates referencing his many aliases. Maudhoo was listed for sentence at Southwark Crown Court as Vincent Leboeuf, pretending to be a Frenchman, and this was one of the many fake names alongside an Italian name, Rossello De Paolo. He also called himself Pascal Burns, Yusuf Khan, Ahmed Khan, and Vincenzo Conte. Following his arrest on September the 22nd last year, Maudhoo told police his name was Pascal Burns and produced a Portuguese driving license in that name, but a phone was later found in his prison cell on which he had arranged for a false passport. He earlier admitted 31 charges, including 14 counts of fraud by false representation against 6 victims, and he also asked for 45 further instances of fraud by false representation against 39 victims to be taken into account by the judge. Maudhoo has also previous convictions for fraud linked to him subletting a flat under the guise of being the landlord when he was actually renting the property himself. The prosecutor, Simon Wiltshire KC, said Mr. Leboeuf sold properties to individuals when he wasn't allowed to sell them. In relation to the true identity of Mr. Leboeuf, the Crown believe him to be Mr. Anopkumar Maudhoo, an illegal immigrant from Mauritius, and he came to the attention of the Home Office in 2010 when he was seeking to act a sponsor on an application for residence and supplied a false identity document in the name of Vincent Holland. Home Office checks found no official record for Mr. Maudhoo, and he was treated as an illegal entrance to the UK. A deportation order was made, and efforts to enforce it remained until April 2016, by which time he ceased signing on at a police station and so was circulated as an immigration absconder since 2016. He said that the charges, the counts of fraud by false representation, relate to Labich's dishonesty, representing himself to 6 individuals that he had access to repossessed properties available to be purchased at a discount to market value. While all the properties existed, none had been repossessed. Some were rental properties people had allowed Labich to act as a rental agent for through one of his companies. Other were properties being managed by legitimate property management companies. Some were properties being managed by legitimate property management companies being advertised for rent by a Zoopla. And there were other properties which were simply in private owner, lived by the owners who first learned of the fraud when the unsuspecting new owners turned up at the front door, confronted by someone adamant they owned this house. Prosecutors said the victims, including both experienced property investors and mothers and fathers trying to secure a future for their children. At Southwark Crown Court, victims called Maudhoo's fraud a cruel and calculated act of deception, causing a deep sense of betrayal and shame. His defense, Johan Ogakovic, said Maudhoo wanted to apologize to all the victims in court, but he asked the recorder, Zain Malik KC, whether his client had actually shown remorse. His defense said, I am not standing before the court and saying Mr. Labich, his remorseless actions speak louder, and he has admitted fully his wrongdoing. I'm not putting him forward as a completely changed character. Maudhoo also admitted 16 counts of possessing a false identity document with improper intention and 1 count of perverting the course of justice, and these offences took place between April 2021 and December 2024. He has 25 previous convictions for fraud and has used his different identities to evade the police and immigration authorities. Sending him down for 10 years, Judge Mr. Recorder Zain Malik KC told Maudhoo, although I'm unsure of your true name, I am satisfied you are a thoroughly dishonest man. You are an individual, a horrible individual who has caused profound harm and devastation to many lives. You deceived your victims through a web of lies and calculated deceit. You then spent your proceeds of your fraud and living an extravagant, lavish lifestyle. You had more cars than I've had hot dinners, and this demonstrated a flagrant disregard for the law and a callous indifference to the suffering of your victims. So I have no hesitation in concluding your offending has serious detrimental effect on victims, including emotional and psychological harm. So further inquiries are now taking place by financial investigators using proceeds of Crime Act legislation. Detective Inspector Damien Barlow from the Eastern Regional Special Operations Unit said, it's a fantastic result that Maudhoo will now be spending an exterior period behind bars. We've already turned our attention to identifying any further assets that could be used, could compensate his victims. So guys, this is a new story coming in. Check this out. I've been in this country fucking all my life and I can't even afford things that this guy's got. Absolute madness, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. It's your boy GT. Keep it locked, keep it real.